Okay, welcome everyone to the Sungrow Technical Training. Today your host Alton Bedzi, and welcome to the IBC training. So today we'll start off with introducing the what we offer is IBC, and then I'll just hand it over to Teppo from Sungrow to then start with the whole training. So our focus in our training today will be on the residential side. So we're looking forward to learning a lot from you, Teppo. So yeah, let's start. So as IBC. We do have a few offerings on our side on the modules, inverters, and the storage side. So on the modules and mounting side, we do have our own mounting structure and our own IBC modules. We also offer Longi, Jollywood, and Canadian solar modules. On the inverter side, we do offer SMA, Fronius, Victron, Goodwe, Attest, and Sungrow. Also on the storage side, we do offer SolMD, a local manufactured battery, and we do have BYD, which is an internationally well-known battery. And then also we do offer Sungrow batteries, which go hand in hand with Sungrow inverters. So Teppo, I'll just hand it over to you, and we're looking forward to learning from you.
Thank you, Bud. Thank you for the lovely presentation, introduction as well. Let me do this. I like putting my camera on so that everyone can see who's speaking.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, I would like to take this opportunity and reintroduce myself. My name is Tsepo Mangwani. I'm the service engineer here at Sungrow. So today we'll be taking you through the introduction of hybrid systems, our beautiful hybrid systems. Residential, mainly 6RS 10 kilowatt as well as 15 and 25. Okay. All right, let me quickly do this. Go. Okay. As I've mentioned that we're focusing on residential hybrid inverters, installation and commissioning training. Should you like to ask any question during the course of the training, please unmute your mic so that I can hear what is the question related about, then we'll be able to address it, okay? All right, today's content, we're going to look at product basic structure, operation and maintenance applications, commissioning, firmware upgrade, troubleshooting, and service commitments. Okay, can you still hear me on your side? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can hear you. I think your
Okay,
slides
okay,
swapped around.
no problem. I just wanted to check if we are still on the same page.
Okay.
All right,
Yes.
so we're going to look at product basic structure, part list. So obviously inside the inverter box, you will find a piece of a paper with this icon on. Please go through each and every accessory that is listed on the list. First one, obviously, it will be the hybrid inverter inside the box, all mounting bracket. Expansion plugs, a set of 3. M4x16 screw set of 2. Then we also supply the backup connector set. PV connectors, a set of 2 as well. Cream connectors, male and female as well for the MC4s. In olden days, we used to supply Suntlinks connectors. We're no longer doing Suntlinks. We're doing normal, we do supply normal MC4s on the battery connection side. Okay, so you'll have one small packet of PV connectors and one packet of battery connectors. PV inside it's the color of PV MC4s, the coated as a red inside. Battery connectors are actually blue inside. Okay. We do supply grid connector cover on your grid input terminal side. COM connector set, or it's where we connect our RS-485 communication and also with our CAN bus cable for battery connections. YNET S module, this is our Wi-Fi dongle, which we use for the iSolar cloud integration as well as commissioning the system through the YNET S, but I will touch base on it. We do supply OT terminals to terminate on your live and neutral and ground on the input side on the main incomer. We supply the single phase smart meter as well that comes with the current transformer, which is our CT there. RS with 5-meter cable, I think it's about 50 meters if I'm not mistaken. Then we also supply you with cut and bootleg files, okay, to terminate on the communication side. We give you also with documentation, manuals on guide on how to configure the system. Okay, this is mainly on the single phase side. On my right hand side, I have the 3-phase unit. They're still the same as the single phase. The only difference this side, it's our meter. Our meter in this form, it's a 3-phase meter, and we also supply you with 3-phase CTs. Okay, we also supply you with the 120 ohm resistors for in terms of paralleling scenarios. Okay, and documentation as well. Either the rest, everything's still the same as the single phase side. Okay, now we're going to look at the LED instruction or LED indication on the system. So we have solid light blue indication. We also have solid red. We also have gray there. Okay, so the first LED indication, if it's always on, the inverter is connected to the grid and the power is being transmitted from DC to AC side. So that tells us what? The inverter is on operational mode, okay? But the moment that the inverter starts flashing in slow motion in the blue light, you just know that the inverter is on standby or starting up. All right. Red indication, just know that the inverter has a fault mode, is whereby we need to start doing our troubleshooting according to the fault code. All right, it could be grounding detection, it could be arc fault detection, which caused by loose connection, or a wrong connection on the terminal side, on your polarity side, on your batteries. The last one is grayed out. Grayed out, or maybe white. Some people will see it as white, but it's gray. Just know that the inverter is completely off. All right. Any questions on the indications? Are we all good?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. And now we're going to look at the terminal overview of the single phase inverter from the 6RS up to the 10RS, and also with the three-phase 15 kilowatt as well as the 25. Okay, on the single phase side on the 6RS, the inverter comes with 2 MPPTs. Okay, which is our diagram 1 there. This is MPPT 1, MPPT 2. It's rated as a 32 amp MPPT. Per string is 16 amp. Okay, maximum startup voltage on this system, it's 40 volt. Then max, it's 600 volt per string. All right. And also not to forget to mention that these are high voltage inverters. Diagram 2, this is our battery terminal connections. It's where we connect our negative pole and positive pole from the battery side with our normal MC4 connectors. Okay, diagram 3, it's where we do our communication connections, which is our BMS, RS85, DRM, DI, and DOs. Okay, and also you can do gen integration with these systems. All right. Okay, COMS 4, it's where we connect our Wi-Fi dongle, okay, which is our YNET S. 5 terminal 5, that is our backup cord. It's where we connect all our essential loads. And then 6, it's our grid main incomer, your live, neutral, and earth coming from the grid side. Okay, indication 7, it's where we connect or we bond our inverter casing with ground. Okay, on the side here is not listed. It's actually our isolator switch for the PV strings. So it's your on and off isolator for the PV. Good. Coming to the 15 and 25. Let me do this. 15 and 25, they're all the same as well. It comes with 3 MPPTs. Not to forget to mention, this is a split phase inverter, so you don't need to bother about phase balancing and stuff. Obviously, you can't exceed the maximum capacity of each and every phase. So if it's a 15 kilowatt, you can only do 5 kilowatt per phase. Okay, You cannot put 6 or 7 per phase. Regardless, why am I saying it's a split phase inverter? Should phase 1 and phase 2 be missing, not pulling at the inverter will continue producing without phase 2, phase 3 demand on them. Okay. So though it will work separately, it works mostly like a single phase. Wherever there's power needed on each phase, it will provide accordingly to that phase. All right. So diagram 1, we have our DC isolator for our PV, for our MPPT on and off, and also 3, it's our battery connection terminals. As I've mentioned that, please mind the color coding of the MC4s. For the PV, they're painted red inside. For battery terminals, they're painted blue. If you mistakenly use the PV ones, they won't fit nicely on the battery terminals. Okay, so make sure that you choose the color accordingly. For terminal 4, it's our comms port as well. Comms port for can high and can low. RH85, we mainly use this COM port for paralleling the inverters for mainly daisy chaining. If you have more than 2 or 3 inverters, then we use the COM 4 to parallel and put our resistors 120 ohm on can high and can low. We terminate also with the RS85 daisy chain to the other inverter. All these informations are there in the manual as well. Okay. Port 5, it's where we plug in our YNET S Wi-Fi dongle. Okay, 6, it's a communication port. It's where we connect our EV charger, battery logger, DRM, RSD, and DO, and mainly RS85 as well, and CAN for battery connection as well. 7, it's our grid and load terminal. So the grid and load terminal in this form is different from the single phase side. If you look at on the single phase side, they are separate. Backup terminal is separate from the input terminal. In this case, they're all built in one terminal port. But just know that on your right hand side, it's your main incomer. Then on your left hand side, it will be your load connection. Okay. What else again? Okay. 8 is just our fan there for cooling the system. And mind you, the 6RS and 10RS, these are fanless inverters. You will hardly hear these systems cooling down. But on the 25, because of these bigger inverters, they have a bigger fan built in there. Okay. Number 9, we have earth terminal there, just to bond the inverter casing. Okay, now we're going to look at the terminal overview on our comms port on the single phase and the 3-phase side. On the single phase side, it's similar with the 10RS. The 6RS is similar with the 10RS. The connection are still the same. So where do we mainly focus on terms of connections? I mean, it's our meter, CAN, RS85 as well. So meter connection, from your meter side to the inverter, you will connect your meter on A2, B2, right? Then RH85 comes A1, B1. And also we have CAN high and CAN low, which is our battery CAN communication. You'll see in the manual, they will say orange and white, it's our CAN high. Then solid orange, it will be our CAN low. In this case, if the customer is struggling to connect with a straight terminal connection or RS85 connection, he can use the RJ45 port on the inverter. He can buy a normal straight cable and plug it into the CAN RJ45 port. Then the system will recognize the battery SOC. Okay. Coming to the 15 and 25. 15 and 25, where do we connect our meter? We connect an A2, B2, okay, just above RSD. And also, if the customer can't connect the CAN high and CAN low, he can buy a straight cable and plug it in on the battery COM port. Right. Also, that is our can high, can low I meant. And then this is our meter connection. What am I leaving? Should the customer have the gen integration scenario, they have the generator on the system, then he will use the DO. Okay. But we will be available for assistance as well online. So we'll advise him where to connect, which is our COM2 and COM1, normally open 2 and normally open 1. This is where we do our comms from the generator side. Okay, now we're going to look at the product basic structure, internal diagram. So this is the internal diagram of this basic 6 kilowatt inverter or 10 kilowatt single phase. It's not the 3-phase. Okay, there's our MPPT1, MPPT2. As I've mentioned that the per string, it's a 600 volt max. Startup voltage on it, it's 40 volt. Okay. This is our common isolator switch. And not to forget to mention that we do have DC surge protection on this machine, type 1 and 2, which is surge and lightning. Yeah, and I'm not sure if you guys are familiar that this system can work with PV only without grid and batteries. Are you aware with that? Are you guys still there?
Yep. Yeah, still here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the sales guys, this is quite a selling point, because to find an inverter like this is quite rare. So the Sungrow system can work with PV only without batteries and grid, only with PV. But obviously in that scenario, the PV should be greater than the load side. Because if the load is greater than the PV, then the system will trigger to overload. Okay. So power being transmitted from our MPPTs, it will be transmitted on the main DC EMI filter board. From the DMI filter board, it will go into our boosters on MPPT1 and MPPT2. From MPPT1 and MPPT2, it will be transmitted on the main common DC bar. Okay. This tells us what PV can charge the battery directly on, because they meet up on the common one DC bar. All right. So this is our positive pole and negative pole of the battery. It has a built-in fuse as well. It comes with the switch gear on the side of the battery. So power coming from the battery side, it will be transmitted on the DC EMI filter board. From the DC EMI filter board straight into the DC bar. From the main DC bar, the power will be transmitted on the inverter main circuit board. It's where we have our IGBTs and capacitors and stuff. Our direct current will be converted into AC alternating current, which is our AC. From our main circuit board, the power will be transmitted on the AC filter board. From the AC filter board, it goes straight to our essential loads on the AC relay board, from the AC relay board into the AC EMI filter board. Okay. On the grid side, pardon?
Okay. Now, but you can finish this. You can finish this part. I just wanted to ask you on that grid tie system.
On the grid tie system.
Yeah, can I limit the okay, let me just ask, can I limit the AC output and then
Yes.
to avoid the overload and then set it up as a grid tie?
Yes, you can limit on the grid tie system. Mainly, what are you talking about? Converting a hybrid system to a grid tie, or you're talking about straight grid tie system?
Oh no, I just mean on this inverter, because you mentioned something about it go to overload in case if it exceeds that let's say like kilowatt per
Unfortunately,
phase.
the power active, sorry man, the power active on this hybrid system, it cannot be set. Okay.
Okay.
But
Cool.
obviously, if you do an installation for hybrid system, you will size according to the load.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hardly to find the system tripping. If your panels are sufficient enough, it will provide the system without, the backup without batteries as well. In this scenario, you'll find that the customer doesn't have money for the batteries. He only wants the inverter and the PV in the meantime. So if the grid connects, it will act like a grid tie system and supply to the load as well. Should the grid fail in the event of load shedding, the system will continue working and supplying power to the building through the PV modules.
Yeah. So it doesn't have any function. It's just like, for instance, let's say power assist or something. Let's say um, maybe you have a small breaker and you increased your loads for some reason, and now you need to at least cover up for that um extra power that you have. Then you put in, like, let's say high voltage inverter such as this one, just to assist with the power flow. Is that capable in terms of like
I'm not sure whether you're talking about the inrush current or you're talking about the
no
permanent
power
power.
permanent power? Let's say the client for
Yeah,
some reason increases
in
power and
yeah. In that case, the inverter will trip. It won't accommodate.
okay.
So if it's running on 3 kilowatt and the load increases to 3.5, it will eventually trip. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. So if it's a full hybrid system, it's inverter, panels, and batteries. If it's a 6 kilowatt, 6 kilowatt can take up to 8 kilo. It can open up to 8 kilowatt for 10 seconds just to start up all those high demanding icons and stuff machines, just to start up. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So as I was saying, this is our live terminal, a neutral terminal with ground from the grid side. Okay. So should the battery fail in the event of a fault or something, the inverter will automatically close this bypass switch to supply the non-essential, because the inverter will not be working by then if the battery fails. Okay. So we have the internal bypass switch as well. Should this fail, the bypass switch will close, then the grid will supply the essential loads as well. Okay. And also we have a built-in AC surge protection on the AC side. So yeah, and Sungrow does not void warranty if there is no AC surge protection externally that is installed on the system. We do cover our system, we trust our system. Okay. Any installers that are joined the meeting at the moment? Do we have any installers?
I guess just us.
So
Yeah.
there's no installation teams. Okay. Now I'll take you through. Please advise all the installers that buy the product from you guys that we as Sungrow, according to the design of the South African related market, the internal earth neutral bond relay inside it is not enabled in South Africa. It only enabled in Austria. So in this market, the installers have to bond the neutral externally just after the inverter. So neutral earth has to be common with the grid in common. All right. In an event of load shedding, so that the inverter cannot break and restart up if the neutral is bonded. If the installer do not bond the neutral and earth, should the main grid switch off, the inverter will restart. Okay, so make sure that they
So
bond their neutral. So
okay, so
yes,
yeah, okay, so I'm just looking here. So that earth from the backup solution when the grid side goes to the bar, and then the neutral
beautiful.
also, and then it's bonded there. So you don't
Yeah.
need, listen, when the grid is available, so
Mhm.
you don't want to you don't need to put a contactor or relays basically to close it if the grid goes off. It
You
needs to be
can you
bonded
can
all the
you
time.
you can do it that way, but we prefer it to be a permanent bond.
Permanent bond. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, but you can do it that way according to your municipality requirements.
mm,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, but most of them they just do a permanent bond. It's common. So let's check on the drawing. Thanks, but I see you have an experience of wiring as well. So there is our live and neutral on the backup side. So we'll be mainly focusing on neutral in this scenario. So if you check here, we have our neutral from the backup port. If we follow it up, it's common with the grid income neutral. You see there. So it's common. And also there is a bridge piece between ground bus bar to the neutral bus bar as well, or terminal. So there's a bridge piece there. So that tells us what? Neutral and ground is common in this scenario. This is after the inverter. Okay. So we avoid, if this fails, then there won't be any breaks between the neutral and the grid side. In most cases, if this is not done accordingly, the inverter will shut down and restart again. Okay, so make sure that they go through this wiring diagram, they bond accordingly. Any questions on neutral bonding? Are we all good?
Yeah, all good.
Beautiful. Okay, now we're on operation and maintenance applications. We are on iSolar Cloud. So we at Sungrow, we have our own monitoring platform, which is iSolar. So you can download it anytime on your Play Store. On your Play Store application. What am I doing now? Sorry. Yeah. So make sure that you advise them to download the iSolar Cloud application. So this is an application that you can access monitoring PV, ESS, EV charging, and optimizers, upgrade and troubleshooting remotely within the period of 24 hours. Okay. And the system gives us data refresh each and every 10 seconds. All right. Now we're going to look at the operation mode that we mainly use in South Africa. Firstly, we focus on self-consumption, compulsory mode, and microgrid systems. All right. So those are three. I will explain in what scenarios do we use this. The first one is self-consumption. Self-consumption is we mainly use or set the system under self-consumption if the system has batteries, PV and grid as well. Okay. So in this case, the system will use PV to charge the battery and supply the essential load. And also, if the customer wants to feed back into the grid, he will we will open the system to feed back into the grid as well in self-consumption. The power can be the redirected where it's needed the most. And also we can set the reserve stock on the battery side. If the customer wants to use 50% of the battery at night, then reserve 50% for load shedding or power cutoff. We set it on self-consumption, whereby we can set those settings. So power cutoff, battery soak level and stuff. Okay, compulsory mode. Oh, before I go to compulsory mode, let's hear what Sungrow says. The definition of self-consumption, that the system connects to the grid, PV power supplies as first priority, system backup when the grid fails. Okay, usually for on-grid scenarios. Yes, okay. Then let's look at compulsory mode. Compulsory mode is mainly, we use it whereby it's only the inverter and battery. It's like a UPS system. The system will charge with grid, but then discharge whenever the power is needed. Maybe the grid it's load shedding or power cutoff. It will discharge. There's no panels in this scenario, and we can set the system to charge or discharge by commands as well. So let's hear what Sungrow says. Compulsory mode. Definition: system charge or discharge only under exact command. Exactly. The note usually for specific situation like adjusting the battery sock, which is our SOC, to a certain level of the battery calibration. Okay. We don't focus on external energy dispatch VPP now. So microgrid 50. Microgrid 50, we use it whereby the client has the generator integration in. If the client wants to start up the generator automatically to charge the battery and also supply the load in the house and stuff, we put the system on microgrid system mode, mostly on off-grid scenarios or maybe the customer has grid, but by the time the battery has depleted, he wants the generator to start automatically and charge the battery. We can set the system to do so. But under this instruction, microgrid system mode. All right, so that it can handle also with the frequency shifting and the voltage, unbalanced voltage coming from the generator side. Let's hear what Sandro says. Okay, definition: multiple system in parallel connection and work in a pure off-grid system. or with generators. For off-grid scenario, with or without generator scenario. Yeah, it does work with grid, it does work with generator, it's fine. Are we all good here?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah. So our system mode in South Africa, we focus on self-consumption, compulsory mode, microgrid system mode.
Actually, sorry, I just wanted to ask, yeah, on the generator side, let's say, can we start and stop the generator?
Yes,
Okay.
hard
It
start,
doesn't,
hard stop the generator.
yeah. And then communication, let's say it's a deep sea generator, can we connect it directly, or is it more of like a signal? I'm not sure what you guys
It's a
use there for
signal. It's a signal on the dry contact. Mind you, we're using
Sure.
dry contact.
Yeah.
So it has to go to the generator controller side.
Okay.
So
Okay.
on the Sungrow side, we can set it to actually set it on start up to a certain battery level. We can set it at let's say 10% SOC, the generator must kick in. Okay, on the battery
Yeah.
side. And also we can force start and force stop the generator automatically. Sorry, remotely.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, now going to check on how to create an installer account. This is after you have downloaded the application on your mobile phone. It's either using a tablet or phone or your laptop. Any other one you can use. So on your main page, just below the login icon, there's a register there icon. You click on register. This is quite important. Select your server. In South Africa, we use international server. We have 4 different servers, which is international, Chinese server, European server, and the other one is customized. No, yeah, the other one is just customized. So make sure that you click on international server. Should you select the wrong server, we as support tech, we won't be able to access your plant. Okay, so it will be hard for us to give you assistance remotely. Okay, so after selecting international server, okay, then you go just below, which is you have to select whether you're a distributor, installer, or end user. This is mainly for you guys, distributors, installers, end users. We don't give them right of admission to change settings on the system. Okay. Regardless whether the customer has experience in ESCOM or Telcom, you always get those clients, and they're quite troubling. They always want this option. So please register them under end user. All right, click on next, then you select country of origin, which is South Africa, then create your own password there, repeat password. You put your email that you use on daily basis. And then click on verification. They will send you a verification code, copy and paste it there. Then you enter your name of the company. Code of level installer or distributor is not yet active. Just agree to the terms and conditions and register your account. Okay. Now we're going to how to create a plant. This is after the installation, right? Now you want to create your plant so that you can monitor your plant remotely. The moment after creating a plant, you just log in with your credential into the Isolat Cloud app. Then this page will open up. By that time, there won't be any plants there. You just go on the search icon. Next to the search icon, there's a plus icon. They click on the plus icon. Then create plant will open. A plant name, you'll name the system after the client's name or the street name. It depends on how you want to name it. Plant type, in this case, we do residential. So plant type, you'll select residential storage. Okay. Installed PV power. If it's a 6 kilowatt, you can put 6 kilowatt. Sorry, if you installed PV kilowatt peak, you calculated the number of panels that you have in terms of wattage. If you are 500, you just say 500 by 10 or 500 by 5, then you get your total kilowatt peak. You put it there. Country of origin is South Africa. Time zone is GM+2. deleted address where the system has been installed, grid connection type. In this case, just put it as a self-consumption, it's fine. Grid connection date, the date that you tied on the grid side, then the owner's email address. You can use the owner, your own email address, or your office email address, it's fine. We also give you a lovely opportunity to add a guest there. Means of founding, we don't want to know about that. Then the postal code where the system has been installed. Then you can upload the next picture of your inverter or your PV modules on the roof there. Click on next, then the QR code scanner, it will open. The moment the QR code opens, then you go to your Wi-Fi dongle, you scan that QR code so that you can link it to the Wi-Fi. All right. Now I'm going to play a short video. Please pay attention to it. It's just a small short video on how to configure one of the systems. Sorry. Okay, are we still good?
All good.
Thank you. So now we on firmware upgrade. We only do firmware update if the installer is missing one of the parameters. If you log in local access point, then you can find your grid settings, your compulsory mode settings, then we know that the firmware of the system is outdated, okay? Or the system is malfunctioning. Then we can do the firmware upgrade on the system. Then how do we do firmware upgrade? Basically, log in into the relevant site. Then just on the overview section below, there's firmware upgrade. The settings, if the customer wants to do settings remotely, or plant configuration. If there's no plant configuration, then firmware upgrade. Sorry. Click on the firmware upgrade icon. Then you have to select which device you want to do the firmware update on. In this case, it's an inverter, but you can change it to the YNET S if you want to update the YNET S. If you want to update the battery, then you'll put the battery there. Okay, click on the icons there. Just put a right click there. Go to firmware update. Select the firmware update, then the system will automatically show you which firmware is available on the cloud. Okay. If you are happy with it, you click on it, then you say update at the bottom, and it will start updating. Okay, troubleshooting. Troubleshooting, we have so many fault codes and error code. Mind you, there is a difference between error and fault. So in the terms of fault, the inverter, it won't operate at all. It will be solid red. But if it's an error, let's say it's a meter 514 communication issue, the system will show on your phone or on your laptop that the system has an error. It will give you an error code, which is 514 for the meter. And then what is the issue? It could be the cause port that is loose, the connection is loose. Then you send the installer on site to fix it. Okay, so I will touch base on a few of them. And obviously, the moment there's a fault on the system will give you a fault code and what are the corrective measures to resolve that issue. All right. So the first one here, I have grounding cable fault detection. Original ID, it will appear on the inverter as a 106. Okay, original cause of the fault, it will be a grounding cable fault. Fault type is not an error, it's a fault. The system is completely on a red fault mode. What is the cause of it? It could be that there's a weak contact of the grounding cable. Second, grounding cable connection is abnormal. Okay, what are the corrective measures to resolve this issue? The first one, they said, check whether the AC cable is connected correctly. Okay. Secondly, is check whether the insulation between the ground cable and the live wire is normal. You don't need that side on site. It will make a nice club there. Okay. And then if you can't resolve this issue, then it's whereby you pick up your phone or advise the installers to contact me directly or my other colleagues directly or post on the group, then we attend to the matter. All right. As I've mentioned, these errors are so many, we can't deal with them immediately. So now we have BMX communication fault, which will appear as 714. In this case, if the system does not recognize the communication from the battery side, it won't work. It won't produce anything. It will log into a fault. Okay. ID, it will be BMS communication fault. A fault type, it's a fault, yes. What is the cause? Communication cable between the battery and the inverter is disconnected or not connected correctly. All right. This is where we connect our can high, can low, stripe orange and white, and solid orange communication. Then what are the corrective measures? Then check whether the communication cable and cable connection terminal are abnormal and correct them if they are abnormal, if so. Okay. 2, reconnect the battery communication cable and restart the whole system. I won't say the inverter. Shut down the inverter, shut down the battery. Anything after recorrection of cables or maybe adding a meter after the system has been running, just reboot the system so that it can recognize that there's a new wiring type or there's a new meter being added on the system. All right. Okay, now in this case, our load power is reading in negative. So you will see after installing the system, when you go to your overview, you will see your total consumption, it has a minus sign on it. We don't need that. The inverter has been supplying power, is not pulling power from the grid side. So our consumption or our total load should read in positive direction. The moment you pick up that it's reading in a minus direction, just know that the CTU on the meter side is facing the wrong side. Okay. So how do we correct the CT if you are not on site? You just log in remotely on your cell phone or PC. Go to advanced settings, select power control, then scroll down to meter reverse connection correction. Okay. The moment you enable this setting, it will change the meter to read in a positive direction. Right. There's no need to drive back to site. Okay. So we at Sungrow, we are quick and easy on the RMA process. We also give 10-year warranty. I'm highly sure that you're familiar with the warranty purposes. So the battery comes with 6,000 life and it's 100% DOD battery. So we at Sungrow, we don't cut off at 25 or 20% cut off on the battery side. I know other brands, I can't mention them. In this case, Sungrow can deplete the battery up to 0%. Okay. But I always advise installers to leave at least 5% so that the battery can easily restart and recover the next morning, especially on an off-grid scenario. All right. Okay, on the repair and replace side, we don't actually repair hybrid system, whether it's a 15, 25, or 10 or 6, we don't repair hybrid system. If the customer has an issue, you contact us or we create a service ticket number. I don't know what is the agreement on you with Sungrow. The customer will come directly into you guys and get the new system. If you don't have stock, I'll have to ship one new straight to the customer side. All right. Within the period of 48 hours, if required fast or maybe the customer is close by the service center, then within the period of 24 hours, I'll give him a new unit from my side. Okay, so mainly we don't repair, we replace. Okay, we are service providers that are online support, and also you can access WhatsApp 24/7 on our WhatsApp group, so you'll get technical support. 48 hours maintenance national coverage, as I've mentioned now, is 24 up to 48 max. Online tutorials, if you want to go through any troubleshooting guide, you can go to YouTube and type in Sungrow_SA, then you select each and every video that you want to look, whether it's commissioning, troubleshooting, or so forth. Videos are there. Okay, that is my end of session. Are we still all good?
Perfect. Still all good. Do we have any
Yeah.
questions from everyone? If you do have any questions, you can still proceed and ask your questions now. I don't see any questions on the chat. Let's see. Okay, so we don't have any questions by the looks of it. But yeah, we can give it maybe about 5 minutes and then we can call it the end of the training for today. And yeah, Tsepo, thank you very much on that. That was a very fruitful training.
Thank you, man. It seems like you guys are happy with the product.
Yeah, seems like we're all happy, which is good.
Any issues that you guys are facing since you started working using Sungrow product? Any other technical issues that you're facing? Maybe we can resolve them. It's everything
Yeah,
good on your side?
everything is good, eh? No issues at the moment, so everything's fine. So Yeah, maybe one day we'll have issues, but so far everything is good. If we'll
No,
ever have any
definitely.
issues. Yeah. Okay, we have a question here from Vessel. So Vessel, you can unmute yourself.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, I've just got a couple of questions. The first one is on your meter CT, your meters that comes with the hybrid inverters. Um, can they be connected to any different size CT that's got a 5 amp secondary?
Yes, on the three-phase or ones on the three-phase 15 and 25, depending on the size of the breaker on site, you can change it accordingly to the main breaker size. Yes, I think they're rated as 150 to 5 CTs, the three-phase side.
Repeat
But the
that.
single phase ones they come standard, but the three-phase ones you can change. Okay, according to your main breaker size, amperage.
Yes, and the hybrid inverter comes with the meters in the box, right?
Yes.
So can you use that same meter for if you're connecting 4 or 5 of those hybrids instead of using a different meter?
Yes, you actually use the one that is applied to you
So when will you use the
inside
other
the box.
external meter that we've got?
The third party.
No, the other meter that you sell with the 6 amp supply. Let me just get the model number here. The DTSD 1352-6. When will you use that meter? If
The
it comes,
meter, if it comes with the mind you, each and every inverter, if I'm not mistaken, inside the box it comes with 3 set of CTs and 1 meter. Okay. So
yeah,
you only use 1 meter on the master, especially when you're doing a daisy change or parallel system. So the inverter will only take 1 meter on the master straight to your AC connections, then the other ones will be slaves with no meters. Okay.
yes, no, I get that. But what will be the purpose of your other meter that you're selling? The one that I just gave you.
Mind you, the other ones are we mainly use them on the grid tie systems.
So the grid tie doesn't come with the meter, right?
No, the grid tie doesn't come with the meter.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the other question on the hybrid, can you mix and match the different sizes, like a 15 with a 25?
No, unfortunately not. Not on the hybrid side.
Okay.
You have
But
to
on
keep
the
it
grid tie
standard
side,
if
you
it's a
can.
20. Yes, on the grid tie side, you can mix different sizes. 50, 33CX and 125 in parallel, yes, you can do. But in that case, you will have to use the Logger 1000 COM100E
All right. And
communication module.
on the hybrid side, when do you need to use the COM100 or don't you?
We don't use the COM100E on the hybrid side. We use the Y&S standard.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So not to forget to mention that on the single phase side, on the 10 and the 6RS, you can only parallel 2 for now, okay? Max is 2 parallel, which is 12 on the 6.6, then 20 on the 10.10. And then on the 3-phase side, we're busy testing 18 parallel on the 25, but the firmware that we have, you can parallel up to 4 units, okay?
So maximum
Yeah.
of 425 hybrids.
Yeah, maximum it's 4 hybrid. We're testing 8 on 25 now. So 15 and 25, you can parallel up to 4 for now.
Okay. Because
Okay.
some of the other Sungrow guys said 8. So now we've got mixed.
Yeah, that is the thing. That is the thing. They are giving you a go ahead, and that site is still being tested. I don't want to give you a go ahead and have challenges tomorrow. It does work, yes, but we're not permitted to give you guys a go ahead on 25, 18 parallel. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Tepper, for that. So yeah, I don't think we still have any more questions, and I think we can call this the end of the training for today. And
Okay.
I'd just like to thank everyone for joining. Thank you, Sungrow, for organizing this. Thank you, IBC. So yeah, until we see you next time on our next training.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. We'll meet again.